Hey, I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about some Beasties Boomers for Tuesday, June 28th. Before we get into the schedule and the slate, and it's a large one, 15 games all day, main slate on two of the three formats are 14 games. I just want to make sure you're part of this Riser Fall family here. And if you want to get in on it, in on the fun and screen grab and follow along here, go to the website, use promo code Beastie. You'll get $10 off your first month of premium services, and that allots you everything that we have here. Now hockey's done, basketball's done, football is it's closer than we think here. It's the end of June, but now it's just all about MLB DFS, and I couldn't be any more excited. So make sure you're part of the site, you're in on the fun in the Discord, use promo code Beastie. When we look at today's schedule, as I said, there's 14 game main slate on FanDuel. DraftKings is 15 game main slate, and Yahoo, same as FanDuel, 14 games, and everything locks at 7:05 p.m. There is a laundry list of things we could talk about and games I want to get to, but there's only one I have my eye set on, right? As I said last week sometime, we get like 2-3 good days in a row, and then we double down, and then we have 3-4 bad days in a row. Wouldn't say we're in a rut here, spinning in neutral, but it's time to come out of all this and really put together a line or a one-team stack that gets us over the hump here, and that is the Texas Rangers going to Kansas City tonight for game 2 of a 3-game series. This one first pitches at 8:10 in Kauffman Stadium at Kansas City. Over-under is around 9 runs right now. The over is like -112, under is -108. Nothing crazy there. Looks to be a beautiful night in Kansas City. 84 degrees, and we're getting about 8-mile-an-hour winds from about first base, right under second base to left field here. Nothing crazy. The heat and the spacious ballpark, I'm not too sure. Kansas City is more, people look at it do they look at Kauffman Stadium like at Oakland, the Coliseum? Is it more of a pitcher's park? Any way you slice it, Texas is going to be outstanding. Let's dig in a little deeper. All right, let's dig into some Texas Rangers here, and I'm talking about Simmons, Seeger, Adolis Garcia, and this new young kid, only played 10 games so far, and that is Josh Smith, left-handed bat here. When we look at this game, right, I want to mention the pitching matchup here briefly, if I can here. We're getting John Gray is pitching on the mound for Texas against Ryan Hazley, this young kid who's been okay. People have picked him up in streaming formats, in seasonal formats. Jonathan Hazley, pitcher. When you look at Hazley's stuff across the board here, his exit velocity is at 90.3, which is 90 miles an hour. You might think, well, that's bad, but as it stands right now, it's not half bad. His hard hit rate is at about 45.2%. His WOBA is at 378. So these numbers don't jump off the page like, holy smokes, we need to stack against this guy. The only reason I believe that Texas is stackable today is because of the not the ineffectiveness, but the Jonathan Hazley hasn't had a ton of time, hasn't had a ton of work, on a pro mound in the big leagues at least. And with his four-seam fastball, his sinker, and even a little bit of some slider changeup action, I think Texas can really get rolling here. And it all starts with Marcus Semien. When you look at him, right-handed bat, let me bring this back up. When you look at Marcus Semien, right-handed bat, 3,000 on FanDuel, $5,000 on DK, only $19 on Yahoo. Marcus Semien, so far so good. 36 runs, 28 RBI, 7 bombs, and 12 stolen bases. Finally, he's coming out of the grave, because the first month and a half of the season for Semien was awful. People, do we drop him? Do we fade him? And now I don't think that Marcus Semien is in that same class of bums anymore. So give me Marcus Semien in the 1 spot. In the 2-hole, starting shortstop Corey Seeger, left-handed bat, the Golden Goose. That's how I talk about him. He's been on a lot of my dynasty rosters since he was a kid, probably. And now with Texas, 3-4 on FanDuel, 5-6 on DK, only $17 on Yahoo. When you look at Seeger, 36 runs, 33 RBI, 15 bombs, and 3 stolen bases. I expect this kid to pick up the pace big time to kind of match that big tag that Texas placed on him, heading into the season in free agency. Slugging percentage, all the stuff needs work, right? 227 average, 422 slugging percentage. But against Jonathan Hazley, who I said, if I'm not mistaken, throws his four-seam fastball 48% of the time, kind of down and away. And as a left-handed bat for Seeger, I'm almost certain Heasley's going to make a mistake and Seeger's going to make him pay for it. In the 3-hole, and you can see in the graphic, Adolis Garcia looks like a professional wrestler. He's swelled up. I mean, he is a massive human being. Right-handed bat starting in the outfielder. Garcia is 4-3 on FanDuel, 5-4 on DK, only $21 on Yahoo. When you look at Garcia, 46 runs, 48 RBI, 15 bombs, and 11 stolen bases. Adolis deserves to be in the All-Star game. And let me get something off my chest really quick. I don't know if any of you have seen the graphic here where Fernando Tatis, the stud, young, up-and-coming shortstop for the Padres, he's like 4th or 5th in overall All-Star voting. This kid hasn't played a single game. He hasn't had one AB this season, and it's all just one big popularity contest. But to me, Adolis Garcia is well worth it. As I said, 486 slugging percentage, averages about 255. Guy strikes out, but he also hits bombs, 15, as I said. Now, this is going to get interesting. So we go 1, 2, 3 with Simmons, Seeger, and Garcia. It's like, where are we going to go now? Cole Calhoun at 4, Jonathan Heim at 5, or vice versa here. I want to go to the starting shortstop third baseman. The kid's name is Josh Smith, left-handed bat. Guy's only played 10 games. They called him up when they sent this Duran kid down, who was doing okay, but he started to, fall behind with the big league pitching here. But when you look at Josh Smith, again, only 10 games, 3 runs, no ribbies, no bombs, 2 stolen bases. And what gets me here is his on base is around 485, right? And his average is about 295. Hasn't seen a ton of big league pitching, only 10 games, as I said. But to me, when it was price tag, 2-2 on FanDuel, 2-4 on DK, and only $13 on DraftKings, it comes down to a simple fact here, where the young kid in Josh Smith going against Jonathan Heasley, who hasn't seen a lot of action, and more times than not, people will say, well, that favors the pitcher because the hitter has no time to kind of prep or see them. I think tonight that the difference and everything goes to Josh Smith's side here. So give me Smith in the 6 hole. Now look, I've seen Smith in 6th, 7th, and I've seen in some spots him leading off here. So again, it's still early in the day, late morning, early afternoon. So be mindful and make sure you check these lock times and confirmed lineups, and we'll go from there. So before I split, let's just recap briefly. Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, and Josh Smith. I think we can do very well with these 4 guys here as a secondary stack. I have Texas hanging about 7 or 8 runs and beating Kansas City 8-2. That's the final score. So we're going to get a healthy dose of base hits, bombs, maybe a few stolen bases from these guys, and we are off and running. Before I split, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall. Use the promo code BEASTIE. You can get in on all this fun. The dog days of summer are a week away here, and make sure you're here with Team Rise or Fall. It's all good and plenty, however you want to put it. When you get to the Discord, tag me. Let's say hi. Let's talk. And let's fool around. When I talk tomorrow, it will be another Bootsie's Bombers for June 29th on a Wednesday. Until I see you tomorrow, be good, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.